gender-based violence, and today is the last day. But we're looking at breaking the cycle of gender-based violence, and having this conversation with us this morning is Aderonke Adeluyi. She's a Chief Welfare Officer at the Orile Agege General Hospital. You're welcome.
Good morning, Ma.
She'll help us explore today's discussion. First, let's understand the issue. Let's understand the problem of gender-based violence. This heinous act remains a significant issue in Nigeria, globally, even in Lagos. Can you share some, insights into, the reasons for gender-based violence, from your experience?
Okay. Thank you, Ma. I think before we go into the reason, for some people that might not really know what gender-based violence is all about. So gender-based violence is an harmful act being directed to individuals based on their gender. But we actually know that this is common to women. It's common to women, although men too, they may have a bit of it, but mostly it's centered on children. women, then to their children. Yes, and we can have this example as we have power imbalance. That is part of gender-based violence. Then we have society norms. Some of the society norms.
Is it power imbalance? Is it because we're in a patriarchal society where the men are seen as the master? Okay.
Yes, yes. I can still explain later about that. So from the social, we have societal norms and some cultural beliefs of people. Those are the major root cause. What did I mean by societal norms? There are some norms that we live with in the present age, and maybe we have gotten it from our forefathers and it's still operating now. Like if we talk about women, is a culture, is a belief that women, you don't speak out. Most times they don't speak out. So our fathers made us to believe that, okay, when you are even going through, especially in home affair, home setting, that you have to cover up your husband, you don't talk. So when some of them are going through domestic violence,
they don't speak
battering and all the rest, they don't speak out. And the major way to break the cycle is to speak out. Because
Go ahead.
Because if you don't speak out, it will be very, very difficult for anybody to know that such person is passing through that violence.
Okay, in your course of work or your experience, what are the major challenges that you have seen that is still causing this act to be prevalent in our society?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. In my own setup, like hospital setting, most times when we have these cases of violence, when they come, after they have gone through counseling, most of them, they are not ready to put in legal action. They rather drop the case.
Why?
Yes. Well, some of them stigma. Some of them like, oh, I don't have money. We won't tell them, you don't even need money. Everything will be settled. It's just for you to show up. Just tell your story. And from there, everything is settled. But some of them, they have a fear of the unknown. That, oh, if I say this about my daughter now, who knows when she's ready to get married? Maybe it's a husband. Those kind of belief and stigma, unnecessary stigma. Those are the reasons why they refused to speak out or even to follow through legal action.
Okay, from your angle as a health practitioner, what are the health risks, the health implications of gender-based violence?
There are so many health risks involved. Let me talk about mental stress.
Okay.
Mostly now you have cases of depression all around. So people are going through a lot of trauma in which they don't even know how to express themselves. So going through it all alone. Some of them suddenly fall into depression. They wouldn't even know, even to people that are educated. One way or the other, they have gone into depression. They didn't know that, in fact, I'm depressed. But the joy of it is that it might be easy for them. They go into it and they come back. But some people that don't have control over it, they get to the borderline and it becomes severe. Yes, so mental stress is there. Then what about the cases of somebody that's been, maybe the husband, wife battering and everything? We have seen cases in which in the process of battering and all the rest, it might have effect on the womb. Maybe the husband kicked that side of the body. So there might be effect on the womb. Some of them sustain injury, bruises and everything. They bring it to the hospital. So we have that for them. Also, for what we have for children too, we have cases of physical assault. Even parents standing on, oh, my belief. Okay, we have a case sometimes ago, and I think the case even went viral. We have a parent, a father, that wanted the boy to study Quran, going to Quranic school, and maybe the boy refused or was not even regular about the going. So the father has to like beat. The beating was too much. There were bruises, marks all over the body. The back of the boy was another thing. Coming to the hospital, this is just to let the viewer know that if you bring such cases to the hospital, okay, you are going, is medically free. Yes, we treated this boy. In fact, it took a while before the wound.
Who brought him to the hospital?
It's a mother.
The mother.
It's the mother. Even the mother too has gone through cases of violence with the man. But thank God, I think Lagos State Domestic Sexual and Violence Agency, they stepped into the case. And I think they were able to resolve it, and the man in question was apprehended.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of public awareness going on, you know. And but despite that, this act still continues. So, in your course of duty,
Yes.
what are the gaps that you think still needs to be filled?
Yes. I think the gaps here, you see, this question also is a debate for us. At times we think about it because at times they don't report the case at all. And we know that it happens. We know it happens. So I think
So
that to bridge the gap.
Excuse me, that itself
Is
is
an
a
issue,
problem.
yeah.
That's, they call it issue of silence, you know, for
Yes.
people not wanting
To speak up.
to speak up.
Yeah.
So even that, how do you think that can be addressed before we go to others,
Other gaps.
other gaps?
I think awareness is the key. Awareness, public awareness. We need to sensitize people more on gender-based violence. And in the process, we need to reassure them of a better future, and that's their fear of unknown. We need to talk about it and let them know that it can be resolved easily and they can still have a better life. You know, this cultural thing, you know, knowing that I want to be, it's good to be submissive, but some people, the submissiveness has gone beyond what it should be. Because fine, I need to do that. But why maybe you have a husband, a perpetrator that used to like beat and beat and beat, and you still keep quiet in the name of, my culture, I'm not to say anything out. But you know, violence is just, that one can lead to death. And some people, they've passed through that because they didn't want to tell, they didn't want to speak up. So we need to reinforce the public awareness. We need to promote it more, sensitization. We want to sensitize people down to the grassroots, the community outreach, in which we find we do this in our own hospital, and most hospitals in Lagos, they do go to the grassroots, educate women on empower them. You know, women need to be empowered. Because when we talk about economic violence, they don't have financial control. So when this is happening in the home, because you don't have any other source. There's nothing you could do. You just have to remain silent. You remain silent. To take care of yourself, go to the hospital, no. To get money for food, you have to wait for somebody to give you. So in that situation, there's nothing you would do. Your self-esteem is somehow gone.
Okay, fighting this cause, you know, from what you have said, is a collective fight. Okay, so what specific rules or specific supports that individuals, you mentioned communities,
Yes.
even the family, you know, what specific roles can they play in fighting this cause?
I need for the family, we need a stronger support system. Women need to be supported. Yes, because
Supported in terms of empowerment,
empowering skill acquisition, getting something to do, at least going out of the house, getting exposed, at least you have something to do, you have where to get source of income.
You don't have to stay at home.
You don't have to stay at home all day and expecting
nothing.
somebody to come and give you. In which, in the case we are in the country now, the person you are even expecting to bring something might not even have.
How much does it even have?
So it's somehow serious. So the support system has to be more stronger.
What about from the community? How can they support all government is doing, you know, to fight the cause of gender-based violence?
From the community, I think from the local government setup, I think they have programs, but you know, women too, everything still go back to them, not just staying at home, not wanting to come out, not even about speaker. There are some other programs in the local government that women were asked to come to local government for one program or the other. These are ways in which somebody can be empowered and you can be enrolled into a program that can give a better life and can sustain you, your family.
Okay.
So, but if they are not available, how do we do that?
How important is early education about gender equality? You know, when you start telling the little boy, the little girl that you are equal, and then how important is also engaging with the men and even the boys on gender-based violence?
Thank you. The issue of gender equality, I think in this part of the country is somehow is shaking. You know, for male dominance, when we're talking about patriarchal norms, you know, is our belief that male, they are empowered. Even in the home front, you see a male child, a female child, go do this. No, male, they don't do that. Everything is a girl that is a girl child that have to do all the home chores. You don't do it. Then for the male child, if a male child sustain injury or something happened to a male child, don't you know you are a boy? Don't do that. Don't do that. You are a boy. So by saying that to a boy, I think we are trying to like make the boys stronger, make them. I'm not saying they will be athletes, but they are built up the way that they don't even see
Emotions. No?
Emotions is somehow tampered with, and that is how they were raised. But now I think having education, telling women what a male child needs to do, let a girl child do same. Trying to bridge the area of equality between the two of them. The male, we've seen male child that can do household chores and do wonderfully. That was the way that one was trained. But for women to, when we are somehow self-centered, you know, some of us, when we see a male child, it's like, the girl child
that's the king of the house.
So you don't talk to king anyhow. So you know the way you handle king. But for the girl child, is another thing. It's you that you have to like, I don't know, maybe it's you that will be the one to adore the male child. So that gives them more they are empowered. So if they grow with that, that is what the result we are having now in the society.
So this also states that the kind of training that parents give their children also matters.
It goes a long way, ma. It goes a long way. Okay. And even the training, ma, if women are not exposed as in educated, have been going through training, a better training, and getting exposed. All this, how would you know what to train your child? You don't know what to train your child. You don't have
the knowledge.
Yes, you don't have it. So if the knowledge is not there, it's still the same way. It's like a stereotype. That's the way we've been doing it. Let's go like that. Some people will say, let me try to do my own, no problem. When it gets there, it will understand. So they leave them to face the challenges in the society. When they face the challenge, then they will know what to do. And it might be so difficult for some to adjust at that point. And that is why some of them, they settle for options, alternatives that may even jeopardize their future.
Okay. Aside from the boy that was brought in by his mom, the boy that was caned, by his dad, have there been more cases for the boys or men that was, that has faced gender-based violence, either from the spouse or from a parent? How prevalent are the cases for men or boys?
Oh, the prevalence for boy is not that. It's low. It's low compared to girls.
So, will you say that though this thing is happening to boys, but for the male gender, I'd rather use male gender here. The male gender would rather, suck it in because of the stigma.
Was it because of stigma or the dominance? I'm the one. Naturally, men, if you say access hospital, do some things, no, how can I go to hospital and do what? Go and do what? Why you don't say that? I don't know. That's their belief. They are men. And so,
man of macho.
Domineering somehow, you get me. So, I think that's even not for the stigma. I know it's not common. It's not common in boys. It's not common. It's not really common. But at the receiving end is the girl child, the women that are at the receiving end. I know I had a case of that too. Sometimes, some years back, the issue of male sex men. When you have older men, for smaller younger boys. We have that case about 2 boys, an older man of like 50-something years.
So how was it addressed? How was it dealt with?
Yes, we reported the case. Okay. We reported the case, but that was way back. It was a long time. So, but outside that, it's just mostly what you find in a male child is the issue of physical assault.
Because I deliberately brought it up so that it will not look as if, we're just talking about the girl child or the women.
Yes, I
because
understand.
We know that our First Lady here in Lagos is championing, the ones for the boy child, that they should, parents, should also pay attention to the boys.
Boy child, yes, it's necessary.
Okay, so what more do you think should be done from your point of view as a health practitioner, from some cases you have come in contact with? What else, or what more do you think government can do, or even people around?
Yes. Number one, I think area of legal action should be more enforced. As then, I know DSVA in Lagos State, they're trying. Well, yeah. So they don't sweep cases under the carpets. Yes. So we should still have more, because they might be overwhelmed.
More accessible. Okay.
So we should still have more. Then this awareness is key. That when cases is brought to the hospital, when they have cases like that, we make them know we have to be more passionate about it, follow up, follow through. Because some people, they might leave and you will not see them again. They won't come back to the hospital. So it's we that will be on them, like doing follow-up and reschedule them for ongoing counseling until the case, we know that it's been transferred to DSVA and they are really in charge. That is when we stop. We stop. Then in the home setting, I think there's a lot of problem in cases where we have mother and father, if they are not in good terms. Then our religion organizations too, they can be of help. They can be of help. Because when we have training like this, in a religious setting, you have people that comes around to give talk like we are doing. It goes a long way. So if they cannot confide in people in hospital, in the religious setting, they can, okay, I can confide. But even the mosque too, they can. At the local government setting, they can. And in the hospital setting, we have outreaches. We will go out to talk to people, to sensitize them about gender-based violence. And we always ask them, okay, we assure you that don't worry, this case you are bringing, we are on a safe side. And more so, confidentiality is the key. Most of them, they don't want to. But they know, oh, if I tell them now, maybe my husband will hear. Maybe this one will hear. Maybe that one will hear. But we tell them, oh, no, so you have related the story to us, nobody. You don't even need to tell your husband. Don't tell your husband. When the case gets to a certain stage, your husband will be in the know, and everything will be resolved. So they need a reassurance. Then also in the school setting, it happens in school setting, it's all over. We are all over. At the school setting too, you have teacher and students.
True.
Yeah, so you have teacher and students. Yes.
Just yesterday.
Yes, we have sexual advances between lecturer and student too. So it has to go to that level too. It has to go there.
Okay. So for you still have, you wanted to ask?
Yes.
Okay.
But after you.
Okay. So from what you said, we still have cases of people who do not want to come out or speak out, you know. So what do you also have to say to them to encourage them to be able to come out and speak?
Yes, I think media campaign is best. You know, like we are talking now, then there can be jingles, campaign via the television, radio, because I know people that maybe don't watch television, they have access to the radio. At times when some of them come to us, oh, I had a program, I watched a program in the television, they said we should come to hospital to do this. They told this, I heard this from the media. So media to campaign can also help do a lot in public awareness.
Okay, just before we go, what message, you know, do you have to a victim? You know, what message, what should she take, what should he do immediately he finds himself or she finds himself in the position of helplessness, you know, or being violated by a person?
How a survivor should immediately, should not think here or there, should report the case immediately.
Okay.
That is the first thing. Speak out, that is where we say speak out, just speak out. Come, you have people that will come to your rescue. And we said it, Lagos State is on the top of it. You have everything medically that is going to be free.
To support you.
It's just for you to maybe transport yourself. Make yourself available, then every other thing will be resolved. And there's the fear of the unknown should not be there. Should not be there. Then issue of stigmatization, discrimination, all these, they should know there's no stigma of the future or discrimination. As soon as the case is reported and everything is resolved, I used to tell some of them that, okay, fine, if this happens to your child now today, in the next 10 years, probably 5 years, this child won't even be like this. Physically, you might not even be able to recognize the child. And we would have even kept it, and now we are thinking too far. So what is the present now? Let us handle it and leave the future that we cannot control it. We leave it for God.
Okay. Thank you very much. One thing I'm taking from all you have said and the way you have said it is that you've made it an all-inclusive, you know, job for everybody. You have been using the word we.
Yeah.
That I noticed.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Aderonke Adelui, Chief Social Welfare Officer, the Orile Agege General Hospital, and she's been talking about breaking the cycle of gender-based violence. After this short break, we'll be back.